Part 73. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 721. In front of the palace, many princes were frightened. It was really terrifying that Qin Feng dared to threaten Emperor Yan alone. "These mere rubbish from Yanhuang Palace can't stop me." Qin Feng scolded. A sneer appeared at the corner of his mouth, and he sat on the horse, scanning the surrounding heroes. To be honest, he really didn't look down on the many princes in the Yan Palace. If these people had the courage to take action together, they might actually pose some danger to him. However, there are only a few princes who dare to take action against Qin Feng. I am afraid that except for the worshippers and others in the palace, Qin Feng is enough to run rampant here. "Don't be so arrogant, kid," Prince Qiun yelled loudly. Qin Feng's move did not take the princes of Yan seriously, and no one of their princes dared to respond. If this was spread, people in the affiliated countries would laugh at them. "What? If you don't accept it, I'll give you a hand." Qin Feng's expression was extremely calm. He just stared at Qiyun, waiting for the other party to take action. "You are bullying me, the people of the great Yan kingdom, and you should be punished." Prince Qiun was not angry. He gritted his teeth and took out another fairy sword. This 8 immortal sword was of the highest quality, and between his palms and fingers, a divine sword appeared again. The power of this divine beast is stronger than before. The divine flames are flying around and swooping towards Qin Feng. There is an inexplicable Taoist charm spreading. "Welcome." Qin Feng scolded. This man had extraordinary cultivation, but it was difficult to compete with him. He slapped his palm forward, and there was a terrifying trend spreading. Boom! This most ordinary palm, intertwined with thousands of golden lights, was shot towards Qiun under the blessing of the 8 forbiddens. The energy in Qin Feng's body seemed to be erupting from a volcano, and his palms were like fairy gold, and he slapped the divine fudge hard. Suddenly, a deafening metallic trembling sound was heard from the sky and the earth. The divine sword was directly photographed by Qin Feng and revealed its original shape. The fairy sword was caught in Qin Feng's hand. Bang! Qin Feng struck out with another palm. His palm covered the sky and the sun, and struck the Prince Qiun fiercely. The void trembled violently, and ripples spread out. At this moment, Prince Qiun was horrified. Gang Qi was intertwined all over his body, and he put up dozens of layers of protective shields, trying to block Qin Feng's attack. Moreover, his body quickly retreated backwards, trying to avoid this fatal blow. However, Qin Feng's palm speed was too fast, and his divine power was as powerful as that of the great king. Bang! This palm hit Qiyun's body firmly, sending Qiyun flying directly, and landed on a side hall, causing him to cough up blood, and his flesh and blood were blurred. Ah! On top of the ruins of the building, Qiyun was wailing. Under Qin Feng's attack, he lost his fighting power and roared again in pain. All this happened so fast that it dazzled people. At this time, Qiyun was lying on the ruins, feeling extremely frightened in his heart. He was a majestic prince, but he was seriously injured by a young monk in the phaseless realm. It was really embarrassing to spread this news. However, everyone present was frightened, but no one dared to laugh at him, because at least he dared to stop Qin Feng, while other princes could not even raise the intention to resist. On the dragon chair, murderous intent bloomed in Emperor Yan's eyes. The majestic prince was so vulnerable to Qin Feng's hands, which made him extremely angry. He had raised so many princes, but they were all embarrassed at the critical moment. They were frightened out of their wits by a monk in the formless realm. It was really an embarrassment to the Yan kingdom. "My dear friends, who will kill him on my behalf?" Emperor Yan glanced at the crowd and asked. As a majestic emperor, his cultivation has reached the level of a great king, but if he directly kills Qin Feng, it would be too big a fuss. If he, the emperor, has to do everything himself, Then what is the use of raising so many generals and princes? There was a complete silence all around, and all the generals and princes were so courageous that they dared to take action. Emperor Yan frowned. He looked at the hundreds of princes and generals around him who all lowered their heads. No one dared to step forward to arrest Qin Feng, which made him extremely angry. He himself wanted to use Qin Feng's incident to test the princes of Yan's state to see who was a pillar of talent. After the test, he was very dissatisfied with the result. No one among the noble princes dared to fight with a young monk. He was really a loser. Why, among your group of generals and princes, don't any of you have the strength to fight? Emperor Yan was completely angry. His cold eyes scanned the surrounding princes, putting pressure on them. Your Majesty, forgive me. Feeling the gaze of Emperor Yan, the princes and generals were suddenly frightened. They quickly knelt down and begged Emperor Yan for mercy. Their status is extremely precious, and they are used to being pampered. Although they are in a good state, their years of comfortable life have also worn away their spirit. They are not the real princes and generals at the border. The edges of these people have been worn away, and their combat effectiveness may be greatly reduced. The power of Qin Feng in the Suzaku Holy Land in front of him far exceeded those of the princes. Unless the powerful princes outside the border were transferred back, no one could be Qin Feng's opponent if he fought alone. If I raise you, I might as well raise a dog. Emperor Yan saw that all the princes were pale and knew that he could not count on them. He sat on the dragon chair and spoke softly. Luan, kill him. As Emperor Yan's voice fell, the space behind him shook, and then a man in black appeared in the sky. The other party was holding a black sword and appeared abruptly. He was not tall, wearing a black robe, and was not outstanding. However, there was a terrible momentum flowing around him, as if it could devour the surrounding light sources. There was a terrible power spreading, which made people tremble with fear. Qin Feng's eyes condensed, and he felt a terrifying fluctuation from the newly appeared cultivator. This fluctuation seemed to be able to devour the Yuanli in the world. This is the power of the Great King realm, which can merge with the void. The other party is a great king. The secret guard Luan, whose strength is at the peak of the first level of the Great King realm, is extremely terrifying and amazing. What a terrifying might, I can't even see through it. Could it be a great king? Some princes whispered to themselves, Luan's might was so strong that even if all of them attacked together, they would not be his opponent. No wonder the Emperor of Yan said that Luan should kill Qin Feng. However, although Qin Feng was somewhat moved, he didn't understand why the Emperor of Yan was so confident that Luan could kill him. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 722. Qin Feng was a little confused, but the surrounding princes were frightened. The secret guard who appeared in front of them was so amazingly powerful. The figure that could swallow up the surrounding light sources was simply invincible in their hearts. There is such a terrifying existence beside Emperor Yan. It is conceivable that if they rebelled, they would have been killed by unknown means. Call out. Luan stared at Qin Feng with a pair of eagle eyes. Two cold rays bloomed, intertwined with terrifying momentum, and swept towards Qin Feng with overwhelming power. At the same time, Luan merged with the void, and his body followed closely behind. The black sword in his hand emitted a terrifying light, making the void tremble. Clang! Qin Feng's eyes turned cold. He rose up from the back of the dragon horse and rushed towards Luan. He grabbed Ji Qian's fairy sword and slashed forward. The fairy sword dispersed Luan's power and collided with his black sword, causing a sound of gold and iron to echo in the void. The area was trembling, and the sword energy and sword light were raging. It's interesting. Qin Feng turned around and stood firmly on Longma's back, while Luan also flew upside down and stood in mid-air under the collision. Infinite energy spread out between the two people, and the terrifying sound waves were so powerful here that some of the nearby guards and eunuchs stepped back and turned pale. The sound waves that overflowed from the two people's first attack shook their souls so much that they almost couldn't bear it. You can think about how terrifying the power of Qin Feng and Luan is. Brush, brush, brush. In an instant, Qin Feng stepped on the immortal steps and took the initiative to attack Luan. Luan held a black sword and collided with Qin Feng. The fighting power of the two men was extremely terrifying. Their swords collided in the sky, and their constant exchanges filled the air with terrifying sound waves one after another. The nearby princes were all frightened. If they encountered such a terrifying power, they would probably fly away immediately. This secret guard Luan not only has outstanding supernatural powers, but also his body skills are extremely strange and extraordinary. He transformed into dozens of phantoms in the void and kept attacking Qin Feng, looking for extremely powerful moves. Moreover, every attack was aimed at Qin Feng's vital points, and the sword moves were tricky and strange. This made Qin Feng frown. This great king, Luan, had similar movement skills to the Killer God Dynasty, which meant that the opponent was most likely a killer sent by the Killer God Dynasty to assist Emperor Yan. Buzz. There was a metallic trembling sound in the void, and the fairy sword collided with the fairy sword. The two of them kept fighting. Divine power radiated here, and the terrifying light shook the entire imperial city. Clang. After bombarding dozens of times, the sword in Qin Feng's hand could not withstand his energy and eventually broke into pieces. In an instant, Qin Feng stepped on the immortal steps and avoided Luan's killing blow. He was suspended in mid-air. Whoosh! After seeing the weapon in Qin Feng's hand shattered, Luan instantly joined the void. He stabbed Qin Feng behind with his black sword at an extremely fast speed. At this moment, Qin Feng didn't even look back. Golden light burst out from his body, and a loud noise was heard. Qin Feng's whole body burst into brilliant ripples, sending Luan flying away on the spot. In mid-air, the King Luan flew out upside down. He stabbed Qin Feng's body with a sword, but failed to break through his defense. Instead, he was knocked away, which surprised him. The defensive power of your armor is so terrifying. No wonder you are so confident. In mid-air, Luan's eyes turned cold, and he felt that he had guessed Qin Feng's thoughts. He believed that the reason why Qin Feng dared to come to the palace alone to stir up trouble was probably because of this invincible magic weapon that made him so confident. As everyone knows, the light flowing out of Qin Feng's body is not the power of the magic weapon, but the inferior martial arts of the immovable God King. This immovable God King is the magical power produced after the advancement of the God King's vision. Qin Feng once used the golden bell of the God King's vision to block the attack of the Dachshund King. Now, his golden bell of God King vision has been upgraded to immovable God King, and its defense power has been superimposed hundreds of times. The Great Perfection King's first level cannot be broken at all. Hiss! The princes in the audience gasped. Qin Feng's defensive power was so powerful that he could defend even the Dachshund King's attack, which frightened them. What kind of magic weapon is that of yours? Luan's eyes were slightly cold. His movement skills and void combination were unable to break through Qin Feng's defense. Go underground and let the son of the Killer Dynasty tell you. Cold murderous intent flashed in Qin Feng's eyes. He took out his immortal sword in an instant and dived towards Luan. He was already convinced that this person was an assassin from the Assassin Dynasty. Although he did not know the identity of the other person, the identity of an assassin in the realm of kings was no small matter. At this moment, the absolute immortal sword bloomed with brilliant light in the sky. Under the blessing of the Nine Forbiddens, the divine phoenix sword became extremely powerful and split the void on the spot. In a flash of thought, Luan used all his true energy to form a barrier of strong energy, and then he slashed forward with his black sword. In his opinion, Qin Feng could easily block his attack, and he could also block the opponent's attack. Buzz! Divine Phoenix Sword, as a low-level martial skill of a heavenly immortal, is extremely powerful, and with the blessing of the 9 forbiddens, its power is unparalleled. Seeing Luan was so arrogant, Qin Feng did not hold back at all. He attacked decisively, and the Juexian sword burst into a golden light, which instantly passed through the void. Just when Luan thought he could stop Qin Feng's attack and then make a fatal counterattack, he didn't expect that he couldn't stop it at all. At this moment, horror flowed from his eyes. The Juexian sword passed through the sky and instantly cut open his body, chopping him alive in the void. Hiss! The surrounding princes all gasped, and they retreated one after another. The power Qin Feng burst out could only be described as peerless horror. After all, they were not real kings. Although they were called princes, their fighting power was completely insufficient. The power Qin Feng played was simply shocking and beyond the cognition of all of them. Not, even the kings are no match for Qin Feng, who among us can stop him? Qin Feng not only has a terrifying defensive magic weapon, but also such a terrifying murderous aura. Is this the foundation of the ancient Holy Land? The countless kings and princes present were shocked. Qin Feng's performance made them fall into deep shock and extreme fear. Qin Feng came to their Yan palace alone and injured several kings and princes in succession. Now, he even directly chopped a king alive. If such news were to spread, it would probably shock the world. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 723. In the imperial palace of Dian Kingdom, Qin Feng held the immortal sword in his hand and had murderous intent. Soar into the sky. In front of him, the body of the king-level killer Luan was chopped alive in mid-air by him. It was bleeding and terrifying. Ah! Luan roared loudly. As a monk in the realm of Dachan King, he could regenerate severed limbs. Although he was chopped alive in mid-air by Qin Feng, he did not die. In mid-air, majestic murderous auras surged out. This murderous aura was intertwined and gathered on Luan's body, burning like a divine flame. Luan's bodies quickly came together, and he came out completely revived, but his eyes were extremely ferocious, and the look he looked at Qin Feng was full of anger. He was a powerful killer in the realm of kings, but he was killed in the void by Qin Feng, which he couldn't accept at all. Qin Feng looked calm. This was what he had expected. It would be very difficult for a monk at the level of a great king to kill a warrior. Such a being has divine power like the sea and a strong vitality. After being killed, it can recover from the depletion of energy and blood. However, this does not mean unlimited recovery. After all, it will consume one's own energy and spirit, greatly reducing the combat effectiveness. Especially for a strong man of this level, the more times he is killed, the more his energy and blood will be depleted, and his own strength will become weaker. Even if you are lucky enough to win by then, you will not be able to fully return to the peak realm without a period of cultivation. The king of the Assassin dynasty. Qin Feng's eyes were cold. He stared at Luan in mid-air, feeling deeply how terrifying he was. This person's body skills undoubtedly told him that the other party was a strong man in the realm of the king of the Assassin dynasty. As Qin Feng finished speaking, the surrounding princes were all frightened, with strange looks in their eyes. Qin Feng actually directly called the powerful secret guard summoned by Emperor Yan that he was the killer of the Killer dynasty, which shocked them very much. The Killer dynasty is notorious. If the secret guard of Emperor Yan in front of him is really the killer of the Killer dynasty, wouldn't it mean that the Killer dynasty is inextricably linked to the Yan kingdom? Although many people did not believe it, some princes were shaken in their hearts. After all, Qin Feng had fought against people from the Killer dynasty many times and killed them calmly. He has dealt with the Killer God dynasty many times, and it is not impossible to be familiar with the Killer God dynasty's techniques and body shape. But in that case, they felt that it was beyond their understanding, and it would shock the Yan Kingdom. "Good guy, I want to see how strong you are." Luan did not answer, but rose into the air and shot directly at Qin Feng. A green vine appeared in front of him. The green vine bloomed branches and leaves in the void, flowing with a terrifying aura. Qin Feng's eyes flashed with golden glow, and he felt bursts of terrifying energy. Luan's vision was extremely extraordinary, bursting with vitality. It was hard to imagine that such a person was actually a king-level killer of the Killer Dynasty. The green vine pierced through the void, with strands of runes engraved on it, tearing through the void like an ancient ferocious beast. Qin Feng was shocked. This vision was changing in many ways, and it turned out to be so terrifying. Bang! Qin Feng used the immortal sword to slash into the air, and the green vines collided with each other. There was a roar and the entire imperial city shook. The strange flowing divine pattern actually blocked Qin Feng's immortal strike, and the overflowing light caused the place to shake. If it weren't for the protection of the formation here, I'm afraid that the power unleashed by the two of them would have completely destroyed this place. It's interesting. Qin Feng's eyes were profound. Luan's combat effectiveness was very high, and his visions were extremely extraordinary. It was difficult for outsiders to understand without contact. Brush. Qin Feng took the initiative to step on his hand again with the Juexian sword in his hand. The Juexian sword drew a brilliant sword light and slashed forward, causing the heaven and earth to roar violently. The green vine was like a green dragon, and it also swooped forward. However, it was shocked back by Qin Feng's immortal sword, which could not hurt Qin Feng in the slightest. As expected of the holy son of the Suzaku Holy Emperor, he is indeed stunning. The princes of the countries affiliated with the Yan Kingdom commented that Qin Feng's performance was beyond their understanding and made them terrified. After learning Qin Feng's identity, they already had some clarity. It was really rare for Qin Feng to achieve such an achievement at such a young age. Kill! Luan roared loudly. As a majestic Dachshund king, he was actually repelled by Qin Feng. This was unacceptable to him. Countless lights surged around him, and his vine vision turned into several killing swords, shrouded in a threatening aura, and rushed towards Qin Feng quickly. Inexplicable fluctuations of divine power came from the void, and the terrifying aura sealed towards Qin Feng, breaking through the space. The killing sword transformed from this vision, with the blessing of the aura of the Dachshund king, could not be stopped by the powerful men in the realm of ordinary princes. Boom! Qin Feng was happy and fearless. He stepped on the immortal steps and took the initiative to attack with the immortal sword in his hand. The immortal sword flowed out one after another in the form of phoenix gods. This phoenix figure was transformed by a divine phoenix sword. Under the blessing of the Nine Forbiddens, it collided with the killing sword and collided with Luan's visions one after another. The terrifying sound waves swept across the void in all directions, and the energy waves surged like a vast ocean. Neither of them are ordinary people. Luan is a Dachshund king-level killer with a terrifying aura. Although Qin Feng only has the Wuxiang Nine Heavens, his divine king body also makes him extremely bright and sacred. At first glance, he is not an ordinary person. After dozens of moves, the killing sword transformed by Luan's vision was smashed into pieces in the sky by Qin Feng's divine emperor sword. And Luan's body was also directly knocked out by Qin Feng. He was in mid-air, coughing up blood, unable to fight Qin Feng. This was a scene that was hard to be confident of. The great king was knocked away by the cultivator of the formless realm, which was as amazing as a dream. Although the strong in the great king realm can regenerate broken limbs, the speed at which the essence is consumed is also amazing. As Luan recovered, the vision behind him turned into a towering tree, and a big tree appeared, with branches covering the sky and the sun. Countless energies between heaven and earth were infused into Luan, and his body was glowing, looking very different. Qin Feng frowned. This Luan was definitely a strong man, and his vision changed very amazingly. At this moment, the green vine turned into a sacred tree in the void, which was the original vision of the other party. Luan was in mid-air, able to draw the energy of heaven and earth, and his recovery speed became very fast, far exceeding that of ordinary people. However, what was even more terrifying was Luan himself. As a killer in the realm of the Great King, his body movements were strange, and with such a vision that could draw the energy of the heavens in his hand, he was almost invincible, and his divine power would not be exhausted. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 724. Luan came to his senses completely. He took out a huge sacred tree behind him and circulated the mist, making him look like a god of death, looking extremely dangerous. Brush. Qin Feng swung his sword, and the phoenix divine flames flooded forward, making the slashing void tremble. Behind Luan, the branches and leaves on the sacred tree spread instantly, winding towards Qin Feng like wild dragons, with terrifying energy. Qin Feng's immortal sword bloomed with the phoenix divine flame to fight against it. Strange phenomena bombarded the sky, and the overflowing power radiated in all directions, as if it was about to destroy the palace. Kill! Luan roared loudly, and he fought Qin Feng brilliantly, trying to kill him in the palm of his hand. Qin Feng also shouted low, his black hair was disheveled, and the Feudo God King shrouded him, suppressing him forward. In an instant, he stood on the 9 forbidden peaks, and the God King's visionary sea also blessed his body, supplementing the divine power in his body. Luan's whole body was glowing, and the vision of the sacred tree made his whole body bloom with vitality. In his hand, the killing sword and a vision, with an indomitable momentum, penetrated the rainbow. Qin Feng is extremely brave, and his immortal sword expands the space. Now his cultivation has reached the 9th level of Wuxiang, and he can kill enemies across the realms of princes. When the two collided this time, their sonic killing skills were earth-shattering. Around them, the overflowing energy waves made the world shake like rags. With the two of them as the center, the storm spread rapidly to the surroundings, sweeping the heaven and earth with terrifying force. This time, it was a real collision. Qin Feng had a duel with the King Luan. The material of Luan's killing sword itself was extremely amazing, but it was completely incomparable with Qin Feng's immortal sword. There was a loud dang sound and a metallic trembling sound. The killing sword in Luan's hand was directly broken by Qin Feng. Moreover, his arm spasmed uncontrollably under the collision, and he was blown hundreds of meters away. Qin Feng followed him like a shadow. He stepped on the immortal steps, suppressed the void with the Divine King's vision, and attacked Luan forcefully. Luan's entire arm was almost broken under Qin Feng's hard strength. Although he is a powerful man like the Dachshund King, his physical body still cannot compete with Qin Feng's Divine King body. The severe pain caused his facial features to twist, and he continued to retreat in mid-air, leaving large blood stains behind. Many princes around were horrified to see it. Qin Feng used the strength of the Wuxiang 9 heavens to suppress the Dachshund King. This scene was really frightening and difficult to control. Even Emperor Yan, who was sitting on the dragon chair, had a cold light flashing in his eyes. He knew very well how powerful Luan was. Although Luan is in the realm of a first-grade king, his strength is comparable to that of a second-grade great king. Such strength is enough to destroy the world, but Qin Feng stopped him so easily. It is really incredible. Vision Unity. At this moment, Luan was also frightened. His body was like a cannonball, going away in an instant, and the divine flames around him were completely burned. He became one with the huge sacred tree behind him. At this moment, endless divine light soared into the sky. He was a great and accomplished king, but he was suppressed and beaten by a junior, which made him completely upset. Although the princes around him didn't say anything, With his personality as a strong man in the realm of kings, he couldn't accept such a result. A huge vision trembled, Luan turned into a vast tree in the void, and the whole world began to tremble violently. The giant branches were lush and leafy, and they were suppressing Qin Feng from the void. They were like an ancient sacred mountain, and the void was trembling violently. Qin Feng's eyes turned cold, and he covered his body with the immovable God King. At the same time, the God King's image of a bright moon on the sea also appeared behind him. In the God King's sea, there were runes tumbling. Qin Feng transformed into the immovable God King, and he also stood tall with the sky and the earth. The huge image of heaven and earth appeared above the palace, and its power was really astonishing. Bang! Qin Feng waved the Qinkan seal and suppressed it forward. A loud roar was heard. Qin Feng's palm hit the giant branch of Luan's incarnation, causing ripples. This blow was like hitting cotton, eliminating 80% of Qin Feng's energy, which made him very uncomfortable. Because the branches of the sacred tree are strong and soft at the same time, they can neutralize Qin Feng's energy with the force of 1 or 2 kilograms. And the next moment, the originally soft branches became stronger under Luan's thoughts, like a spear piercing the void. Luan's vision was both strong and soft, bursting out with particularly terrifying energy, piercing the void and destroying it altogether. Clang! There was a shocking loud noise, and the branches of the tomb of the gods hit Qin Feng's immovable God King's cover, spreading out ripples, which were completely caught by Qin Feng. Seeing this scene in Qin Feng's eyes, his eyes froze slightly and showed 2 golden lights. Luan's vision is both strong and soft, and it is indeed extraordinary to have such terrifying strength. Boo-hoo! When Luan saw that the blow was effective, he moved his palms repeatedly, and the branches of the sacred tree flew out one after another. This branch was originally extremely soft, but as Luan poured energy into it, it became extremely strong. Dozens of branches made the sky tremble, and they penetrated towards the Qin Feng cave. Phoenix Divine Flame. At this moment, Qin Feng let out a soft cry, his expression suddenly turned cold, and a phoenix appeared between his palms. Then the phoenix spread its wings and appeared in the sky. The terrifying divine flames illuminated the world and burned the first branch into ashes in an instant. The second and third branches followed, but in the blink of an eye, the phoenix divine swallow burned all Luan's strange branches into ashes. If Luan hadn't made a prompt decision and cut off the connection with those branches, the phoenix divine flame might have hurt his body like maggots on the tarsal bones. However, even so, Luan couldn't bear it. His body was shaken violently, and he spurted out a mouthful of blood on the spot. The huge vision and himself were blown away by Qin Feng, hundreds of them. All this made Luan feel unsure of himself. He became a majestic king and became one with the image, and his strength was increased several times. Originally, he thought he had a chance of winning, but he didn't expect that Qin Feng's phoenix divine flame would still be so terrifying, with the ability to burn everything, which he simply couldn't bear. You must know that the Dachshund King is one with the image and can use the energy of the world. Such the most powerful magical power is enough to destroy the heaven and the earth, and its power is unparalleled. However, such a powerful blow could be destroyed so easily by Qin Feng. This is like a fantasy, which is difficult for people to understand and cannot believe. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 725. That's all. Qin Feng looked calm. He smiled slightly and looked at Luan, quite calm. At first, when Luan's vision appeared, he was really surprised, but in an instant he understood how to deal with it and resolved the killing situation. The assassin dynasty would actually send killers from the king's realm. The contact between Yan state and the assassin dynasty seemed to be very deep. Qin Feng's eyes were fierce. He stared at Luan, who was flying away by him, with murderous intent lingering in his eyes. Emperor Yan actually wants to take advantage of the assassin dynasty, and he may end up shooting himself in the foot. Now that things have happened, there is nothing left to say. The country of Yan is in ruins. Kill. At this moment, Qin Feng took the initiative to attack. He stepped on the Ju Immortal step, abandoned the Ju Immortal sword, and took out the Six Paths Immortal sword. Although the quality of this Six Paths Immortal sword has not reached the level of the lower grade Heavenly Immortal, it possesses inexplicable power and can make the strong men in the realm of Dacheng King unable to gather their bodies to resuscitate. This is Qin Feng's real trump card against the strong men in the realm of Dacheng King. With the existence of this Six Paths Immortal sword, Qin Feng can use the Six Paths of Reincarnation, which is enough to kill the strong men in the realm of the Dacheng King, making him invincible. Of course, if he is one with Shura's vision and performs the Six Paths of Reincarnation, Qin Feng's body will be overloaded. Although this load has been reduced a lot as his level has improved, it is obvious that Qin Feng is not yet able to use his trump card against Luan. Because, as his cultivation level has been promoted to the 9th level of the Formless Heaven, he will not have to use Hell Azuras to deal with the powerful ones such as the Dacheng King. His 9 demon swords of hell have been upgraded to the Heaven-defying God King sword, which is an average martial skill of a heavenly being. Chi. The Heaven-defying Heavenly God King sword was unleashed with the Six Paths Immortal sword, causing the void to twist. This terrifying sword light broke through the space. The terrifying sword light shook the earth and struck Luan's vision at once. At this moment, Luan was shocked. He felt the sword energy flowing out of Qin Feng's hand and he couldn't bear it. For the first time, he escaped from being one with the vision, and in an instant, he jumped several thousand meters into the sky. The heaven-defying God King's sword was really terrifying. The hundreds of feet long sword light cut the sacred tree between heaven and earth in an instant. However, an even more surprising scene happened. After the vision was cut open, it could not withstand the distortion of the sword light and was unable to close it. Moreover, the sword light followed him like a shadow. After destroying the vision, the terrifying light directly chased after him and acted on Luan's body, making his face distort and he screamed in terror. The people below were all shocked. Qin Feng's sword was so terrifying that it actually cut open the opponent's vision and body together. This really shocked and dumbfounded people. Ah! The sky and the earth were roaring, Luan was howling sadly. Qin Feng wounded Luan with one strike of his sword, and the brilliant sword light directly flooded the place. This was an astonishing scene. Even Emperor Yan felt great pressure. He knew that the person in front of him was really terrifying and would definitely be a thorn in the side of the Yan kingdom in the future. For the first time, he felt that Zhang Yan thought Qin Feng was extremely terrifying. Now it seems that Qin Feng is far more terrifying than he imagined. In mid-air, Luan's blood and energy were flowing backwards, and endless energy was gathering towards him. He wanted to be completely resurrected. However, the Six Paths Immortal sword has an inexplicable power, and Luan's body that was forced to open could not be brought together at all. Let the energy and blood around him surge into the sky, and the endless divine power overwhelm him, and he will not be able to continue together within a short period of time. Everyone present was not a strong man with a strong background. They also discovered what was wrong with Luan, and everyone was amazed. Brush. Qin Feng stepped on the immortal steps. Under the blessing of the 9 forbiddens, Qin Feng was able to cross the void. He appeared in the sky, covered his body with the immovable God King, and stepped downwards with one foot. At this moment, thousands of feet of golden light flowed from Qin Feng's feet, like a sacred mountain falling vertically. Under the blessing of the 9 forbiddens, Qin Feng's kick was so terrifying that Luan couldn't bear it at all. He was stepped on by Qin Feng and fell to pieces on the spot, falling to the ground. The endless blood is squirming and starting to flow backwards. It is difficult to kill a strong person in the Dacheng King realm directly. However, this does not mean that Qin Feng has nothing to do. He also landed on the earth and the phoenix divine flame flowed out from the solace of his feet. The Phoenix Divine Flame is the advanced flame of the Suzaku Divine Form, possessing unparalleled terrifying power. A scream came from Luan on the ground. He was completely overwhelmed by Qin Feng's Phoenix Divine Flame and burned into ashes. The king of the Assassin dynasty is nothing more than this. Qin Feng moved his body slightly and returned to Longma's back without seeing his movements. At this moment, his white Taoist robe was dancing gently, and he was looking down at Emperor Yan in front of him with his hands behind his back, full of confidence. The countless eunuch guards around him were all stunned. Qin Feng defeated the Dachshund king and killed him directly. This scene really frightened them. Such an astonishing scene really made people stunned. The scene was deathly silent, everyone was as silent as a chill, and their souls were filled with fear. On the dragon throne, Emperor Yan's face looked very ugly. The Dachshund king killer he summoned could not catch Qin Feng, but he was killed instead. This scene made him furious. There is no doubt that this was a slap in his face, pressing the face of an emperor to the ground and rubbing it repeatedly. Such a scene undoubtedly stunned everyone present. They were all strong and in high positions. After seeing Qin Feng's power, they were all pale. This scene was far more convincing than any words. The great king was defeated and killed by a young man, which made them speechless. You know, Qin Feng did not take any tricks, but really defeated the great king. Such an invincible style made everyone feel it. Many people were pale and frightened in their hearts. Qin Feng was so young, but he was already on par with some old masters. If the other party has enough room for growth in the future, I am afraid that no one in the entire ancient continent can stand up to him. Qin Feng, I admit that I really underestimated you. The murderous intent in Emperor Yan's eyes bloomed. Qin Feng's natural talent made him realize that his previous views on Qin Feng were too one-sided. As the holy son of the ancient Holy Land, Suzaku Holy Land, he is only in his 20s, but he has already reached a height that some older people would find difficult to reach in their lifetime. Such talent and qualifications are truly rare in ancient and modern times. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 726. Ding, congratulations to the host for successfully using the Star Gold Scratch card and obtaining 800 Nurturing God Pills. After Qin Feng killed Luan, a Star Gold Scratch card appeared in the air. He took it and scratched it open to obtain the top-grade Nurturing God Pill. This Nurturing God Pill can help the cultivators in the realm of the princes to improve their realm. It is a very rare precious medicine. After all, it is extremely difficult to make further progress after reaching the realm of the princes. Such a pill can be called an immortal pill, which is available but not sought. The people around saw Qin Feng kill Luan without blushing or beating their hearts. This scene stunned everyone. Everything Qin Feng said and did made people feel a kind of self-centered style. The other party fought against the kings alone, which really made people change color. A great king became a passing cloud, which made many people dumbfounded. Qin Feng alone made the princes of Yan state breathless, and many civil and military officials were uneasy. You're not the first one to say that. Qin Feng was very calm. He stood on the back of the dragon horse. He didn't know what would happen in the future. Now, solving the trouble in the Yan Emperor's palace was the most important thing. Otherwise, he and his people would be in danger if they were remembered by such a big force. The cold light in the eyes of the Yan Emperor was gleaming. He was filled with anger. The Emperor of the Great Yan Kingdom was forced to this point by one person. This made him extremely angry. At this time, Qin Feng felt a mysterious fluctuation in the sky around him, which made his eyes cold. He knew that the Yan Emperor's secret guards might have taken action. Swish! Swish! In the sky, Several killing swords crossed the sky and slashed towards Qin Feng's body, trying to kill him directly in mid-air. However, Qin Feng had already reacted. When he learned that the Yan Emperor's secret guards had taken action, he stabbed the Juexian sword in his hand into the void behind him. Puff! Blood flowers bloomed, and the Juexian sword turned into a divine rainbow, splitting the void in an instant. The head of a man in black flew high, and blood gushed out. This was a powerful man of the 6th level of the Lords. His body movements were extremely terrifying, and he had settled in front of Qin Feng, which was superb. Some princes in the distance were all shocked. They didn't feel that someone had settled in front of Qin Feng. You should know that their cultivation is not weak, and they are not far away from Qin Feng. You don't have any feeling. This scene shocked them very much. Swish! Another sword light flashed, and Qin Feng split the void on the spot, chopping a person alive in the void, and blood gushed out. Such a scene really shocked everyone around. Qin Feng was really amazing. The danger that they, the princes, could not find was sensed by Qin Feng. And Qin Feng directly killed 2 people. This kind of power was so terrible that it was terrifying. At the same time, the dark guards who attacked Qin Feng also appeared, and several sword lights burst out with sword beams more dazzling than comets, temporarily heading towards Qin Feng's body. Qin Feng was not afraid. He had already encountered the opponent's attack. His fiery eyes pierced through the void, and the Juexian sword was launched first, instantly turning into a sword curtain, blocking the attacks of the first few people. Puff! At Qin Feng's instruction, the dragon horse raised its legs, and a red fire cloud appeared under its feet, killing a dark guard with his sword into powder. At this moment, the dark guards appeared in the air, dozens of them, surrounding Qin Feng, and they exuded amazing colors, which made people's hearts palpitate. People from the Killer Divine Dynasty, he. Qin Feng stood on the back of the dragon horse, and he realized that these people were called Dark Guards, but in fact they were all killers from the Killer Divine Dynasty. These people were hiding in Yanhuang City, and it was impossible for Yanhuang to be unaware of it. Otherwise, how could the assassin of the Assassin Dynasty become the secret guard of the imperial city of the Great Yan Kingdom? Qin Feng has come to this point. Is it still useful for you to call a deer a horse and confuse right and wrong? Kill him. Not far away, the woman who looked exactly like Zhang Yan spoke. She was murderous. Although her cultivation did not seem to be very high, the hostility between her eyes showed that she had killed many people. You are too careful. I can even kill your son of God, let alone them. Qin Feng's mouth curved into a cold arc. He had a fiery eye and held the Juexian sword in his hand, emitting 1,000 feet of golden light. The world was trembling. More than 20 killing swords appeared at the same time and stabbed Qin Feng, turning into a killing array in the void. The cultivation of these people was in the realm of princes. They were all murderous. Obviously, the Assassin Dynasty also spent a lot of money in the siege of Qin Feng. More than 20 masters attacked together, and the killing swords were filled with red flames. The terrible temperature made the void twist. Qin Feng was fearless, and 1,000 feet of golden light burst out from his body. The immovable God King enveloped him and Longma in it, making them invulnerable to all kinds of attacks. Those divine flames burned violently around him, but even his body protection shield could not be broken. Swoosh! Longma leaped in the void, and its speed was so fast that it took Qin Feng and turned into a gust of wind, rushing out of the killing formation in an instant. At this time, Qin Feng waved the Juexian sword in his hand, and a phoenix god appeared between heaven and earth, instantly tearing the heaven and earth apart, and killed the 2 killers in mid-air on the spot, killing them. Buzz! The other killers were not afraid. They changed their shapes, and their speed was extremely fast, and their body movements were also extremely weird. Many princes in the distance knew that if such a body movement was used to attack them, they would not have time to dodge, let alone counterattack directly. However, the dragon horse had a level, and it moved in an instant, carrying Qin Feng with the Juexian sword. The Juexian sword, as a weapon of the celestial fairy grade, was enough to split the sky and the earth. With the sword of the divine phoenix, another killer was chopped alive by Qin Feng in the world, and blood was all over the sky, shocking people. At this moment, more than 20 killers of the Killer God dynasty were also shocked. As killers on the heavenly ranking, their secrets and skills were superb, and they were like fish in water when dealing with ordinary beings. However, for some reason, it was useless to face Qin Feng. No matter how they hid, they would be discovered by Qin Feng, which made them very frustrated. As killers on the heavenly ranking, they were the top of the Killer God dynasty. Seeing that they could not succeed, they had the intention to retreat and prepared to leave this place and fight again later. Seeing the assassins of the Assassin dynasty actually want to retreat, Qin Feng sneered. "Don't you think it's too late for these people to run away now? Looking at my mount, you still want to escape, it's a dream." Window. Tabula equals window. Tabula. Tabula.push, mode, thumbspeed -01, container, tabula below article thumbnail -300x250, placement, below article thumbnail -300x250, target. Type, mix. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 727. Qin Feng stood on the back of the dragon horse and chased after the people of the Assassin Divine Dynasty. He clearly wanted to kill all of them here. At this moment, dozens of assassins in the prince's domains were all terrified. They became the assassins of the Assassin Divine Dynasty and didn't know how many people they had killed. But today, they became the hunted. Such an experience shocked them all. They had no place to hide in front of the dragon horse and Qin Feng. In the imperial city, many princes and eunuchs and palace maids all looked up into the air. Qin Feng held the Juexian sword in his hand. Against the backdrop of the dragon horse, he was like a holy emperor in the world. He burst out with a 1,000-foot light and killed people everywhere. Such a scene made them dazzled and unable to control themselves. Qin Feng was too strong. He counterattacked and killed more than 20 princes alone, which made them dumbfounded. Not only that, there were many assassins suspended in the void in the distance. They were hidden in the air and difficult for outsiders to detect. So many people actually appeared directly in the imperial city of Yan State. If such a terrible scene were to spread, it would probably cause chaos in the entire Yan State. However, the princes and guards in the field were unaware of it. This feeling was really terrifying. Qin Feng killed people everywhere. More than 20 assassins on the heavenly ranking died under his and Longma's feet. Only 2 assassins broke through the void and escaped. Qin Feng did not chase them, but came to the front of the palace again. At this moment, countless palace maids and eunuchs in the palace became fools. The scene in front of them was really unbelievable to them. The great Yan State Imperial Palace was actually trampled by a human cultivator. This was absolutely a great shame for the Emperor of Yan. Such a thing had never happened in the history of the entire Yan State. Oh my God, how can this cultivator be so terrifying? I heard that the other party is the son of the Holy Land of Suzaku. Is the Suzaku Holy Land really as big as a country as rumored? Countless people were talking about it. Qin Feng's performance stunned them all. Although the guards in the palace had been gathered for thousands of years, it would be useless to let people know. Qin Feng was alone, floating in the air so calmly. Such a scene was too shocking, making people feel uncontrollable, as if facing a god. In fact, after reaching this level of cultivation, the number of people is no longer meaningful. Some powerful living fossils can destroy a city with one palm. And Qin Feng reached the 9th level of Wuxiang. His full strength attack was enough to destroy half of the imperial city. Of course, the premise is that there is no formation in the imperial city and no one stops it. And now, although Qin Feng was surrounded by thousands of guards, it didn't mean much. It was easy for a cultivator like him to leave. And so many cultivators are just cannon fodder for Qin Feng. Unless a living fossil appears in the palace, it will be difficult to keep Qin Feng. Humph, a bunch of trash. The princes of the Great Yan Kingdom are also mediocre. At this time, an old man in a Taoist robe appeared in the sky. The other party merged with the void. As soon as he appeared, many princes and cultivators present were shocked. Even the woman who was behind the Emperor Yan and looked very similar to Zhang Yan was frightened after seeing this scene. She sensed the other party's breath and figure, and knew that the other party was the ancestor of the Great Yan Kingdom's emperor. Meet the emperor, long live the emperor. After the emperor appeared, many princes were shocked. They knelt on the ground and saluted the emperor. Even the emperor of Yan stood up and greeted the emperor retired. He originally wanted to use his own methods to take down Qin Feng, but he didn't expect these people to be so unpromising and lose his face. Emperor retired Yan Qi's eyes were deep, and he was very angry. The Great Yan Kingdom, this generation of princes and nobles were so useless, which made him feel depressed. The other party is just a junior, and you dare not stop him. It's really ridiculous. The Emperor Retired's voice was extremely cold, and it was obvious that he was very angry. How could he not know the thoughts of these princes and nobles? These people were used to being pampered and were afraid of Qin Feng's methods, so they didn't dare to attack Qin Feng at all. Forget it, a bunch of useless things. Emperor Retired Yan Qi shook his head secretly in his heart. The Great Yan Kingdom has been passed down for thousands of years, but he didn't expect that this generation of princes and nobles would be so useless. It's really worse than the previous generation. Are you Qin Feng? The Emperor Yan Qi cast his eyes on Qin Feng. He found that Qin Feng was only in his 20s. He had such terrifying strength at such an age. Such qualifications really made him envious. It's me. Qin Feng's voice was not loud, but it was resounding throughout the palace. The terrible power released made countless people tremble with fear. It's a pity that he has achieved such success at such a young age. The Emperor Yan Qi shook his head. In the inheritance of the Suzaku Holy Land, there was actually a young man like a god king. He was really lucky. However, the Suzaku Holy Land dared to let Qin Feng alone to run wild in their Great Yan Kingdom palace. I'm afraid they made a wrong calculation. Such a talented person was not well protected, but was allowed to mess around by himself. His end could only be to die halfway. If a living fossil-level figure from the Suzaku Holy Land came, he might have made the emperor cautious. However, with his cultivation, he could not find such a protector beside Qin Feng, so he was sure that Qin Feng was the only one here. Is it a pity? Not at all, because you can't stop me. Qin Feng's expression was extremely calm. Although the ancestor of the Emperor Taizhang was very powerful, Qin Feng didn't care much, because he had enough confidence to stop him. The Great Yan Kingdom and the Killer God Dynasty are in cahoots with each other and have repeatedly sent people to hunt me down. I will settle this account with you. Qin Feng exuded a powerful aura, and the terrible murderous aura released made the temperature of this area suddenly drop, making people feel like they were falling into an ice cellar. Below, countless palace maids and eunuchs were trembling and frightened at the sight of Qin Feng's sacred and terrifying figure. After their ancestor came, the terrible aura released made them feel cold all over and couldn't bear it. But Qin Feng could talk and laugh in front of their ancestor. Such a powerful aura of cultivation made them tremble all over and envy them to the extreme. In their minds, the Grand Emperor was a godlike figure, but such a figure actually appeared, which meant that Qin Feng alone might have the power to threaten their Yan state. A young man in his 20s actually had the power to overwhelm the Yan state, which made people feel terrified just thinking about it. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fa Shi. Chapter 728. Oh, I don't know whether to live or die. The Supreme Emperor Yan Qi sneered disdainfully after hearing Qin Feng's words. Buzz. At the first moment, he popped out a palm, which was filled with zodiac dragon Qi and covered the sky and the sun, covering it towards Qin Feng. At this moment, Qin Feng rose directly into the air and was out of the hands of the Supreme Emperor. He stepped on the immortal steps and went away in an instant, reaching the extreme speed. The strength of the Supreme Emperor Yan Qi is very terrifying. The dragon energy of the zodiac flows around him. Even Qin Feng is not willing to directly confront him. However, although Qin Feng was unwilling, his dragon horse mount was completely different. During the 20 days he spent in the Suzaku Holy Land, Ryoma's cultivation level had been raised to the level of a second-grade king by him using magical medicine. As a rumored mythical beast, Longma has an extraordinary bloodline that can be compared with the Supreme Emperor Yan Qi of the Yan Kingdom. Originally, Yan Qi didn't pay much attention to Longma. His palms continued to move downwards. In his opinion, there was a complete tendency to crush him in terms of his cultivation level. Although Qin Feng did not dare to confront him, in his opinion, Qin Feng's dragon horse was sacred, and it was very good to catch it and use it as a mount. However, at the moment when Emperor Yan Qi's palm was about to hit the dragon horse's back, the dragon horse suddenly stood up. Under its huge hooves, a cloud of fire flowed out, and it stepped forward on the spot. Boom! There was a loud noise between the sky and the earth. Long Ma's hoofs and Yan Qi's palms collided hard, and brilliant energy waves spread out between them, spinning in the void, blowing up an energy whirlwind. At this moment, the space was trembling. With his strong body alone, Long Ma resisted the attack of Supreme Emperor Yan Qi. The sky shook and the earth shook. The huge imperial city was majestic at this moment, and the palace buildings shrouded in formations heard bursts of roars. It was still the result of them controlling their divine power. Otherwise, with their overflowing energy, most of the imperial city might be destroyed. So strong. Emperor Yan Qi of the Great Yan Kingdom put away his contempt. He felt the threat from Long Ma. This dragon horse is actually a divine beast in the realm of a great king. Its physical strength is so tyrannical that it can actually withstand his attacks. Moreover, he suspected that the other party's realm was not trivial. What was even more shocking was that the other party's concealment technique was very aura, so he was blinded by it. Boy, no wonder you are so confident. It turns out that there is a mount in the realm of the Dachan king. At this moment, the Supreme Emperor Yan Qi turned his attention to Qin Feng. In his opinion, the reason why Qin Feng dared to come to their palace alone was probably because he had this mount from the realm of the Great Success King, so he dared to be so confident. Aer, come again. The dragon horse roared and dived towards Yan Qi. It received Qin Feng's order to stop Yan Qi. At this moment, a group of fire clouds appeared around Longma. These fire clouds were all flowing runes. Under its control, they swooped towards Yan Qi with it, and the void was trembling. Terrifying fire clouds bloomed in the sky, and the dazzling light was as bright as the sun in the sky, making it impossible to look directly at it. Two masters in the realm of Dachan kings faced off in the void. The full strength of these living fossil-level beings could destroy the palace in one fell swoop. Their battle rose higher and higher, placing the battlefield as high in the sky as possible. The overflowing energy wave swept over 10 meters, and the clouds in the sky trembled. Below, Emperor Yan no longer stood idly by. He jumped up from the dragon chair and took the initiative to attack Qin Feng. The zodiac dragon energy intertwined around him, and the palms of his hands were intertwined with golden light, hitting Qin Feng. Emperor Yan was caught off guard. His speed was too fast, and he hit Qin Feng solidly, and a loud noise came out, like the collision of immortal gold. However, Qin Feng's expression did not change at all. The Feudo God King enveloped him, and Emperor Yan's most terrifying blow did not break his physical defense at all. Is this the strength of a second-grade Dachan king? Qin Feng sneered and said, "No wonder Emperor Yan is so arrogant, thinking that he can rival the Suzaku Holy Land, and does not take the Suzaku Holy Land in his eyes. It turns out that the other party has the strength of a great king. It's no wonder that although the Suzaku Holy Land claims to be as powerful as a country, the Holy Lord's cultivation level is only in the domain of princes. If it were the case, if a strong man of the living fossil level didn't take action, it might really be possible for Emperor Yan to raise an army and capture it. Although the current generation of the Suzaku Holy Land is not very good, the Suzaku Holy Land has a profound foundation and has more than one activation level. This is why Emperor Yan did not dare to take down the Suzaku Holy Land in Yanbei. It is conceivable that a Suzaku Holy Land lying across Yanbei is definitely a thorn in the side of Emperor Yan. If he had enough strength, he would have done this long ago. But now, if the other party dares to break up with the Suzaku Holy Land, he may have made complete preparations. After being stopped by Qin Feng with a blow, Emperor Yan's face was extremely gloomy. Many of his secret guards died in Qin Feng's hands. Even if he could kill Qin Feng, it would still be a big loss for him. These people did not die in the battle against the Suzaku Holy Land, but were killed by a junior monk from the Suzaku Holy Land. It was a great shame and humiliation. Around them, many princes and monks were silent. They were completely unable to resist. The living fossil of the ancestor had already taken action, but was stopped by Qin Feng's dragon and horse. The Emperor of Yan was also ready to kill Qin Feng himself. They knew that after the success, even if Qin Feng was killed, Yan's state would be in a bloody storm. Not to mention the revenge of the Suzaku Holy Land, even the Emperor of Yan might also carry out a purge, so that these unworthy princes and dukes would retire and return home. But after seeing such a fierce Qin Feng, their courage was completely broken, and they did not dare to attack Qin Feng at all. In the face of absolute strength, the power of words is all vain. The Emperor of Yan's eyes bloomed with the dragon energy of the Emperor, and various divine beasts appeared around him. As the Emperor of a country, he was blessed with the dragon energy of the Emperor, which made him invincible. Especially in this Yanhuang city, the luck here was blessed on him, which made his strength extremely strong, and it was easy to ambush and kill a small cultivator in the Wuxiang realm. Moreover, from this point of view, without the help of the great King Dragon Horse, it is still unclear whether Qin Feng can resist the attack of the king. After some tests, he knew that many princes in the Great Yan Kingdom were not very useful. If he wanted to attack the Suzaku Holy Land, he might need external forces. And those princes in the border areas also need to be called back to the palace. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 729. High in the sky, the Supreme Emperor Yan Qi, who was fighting Qin Feng's mount, was secretly surprised, with a look of regret on his face. Qin Feng can achieve such a level at such a young age. Such a person can be called heaven-defying. If such a genius can join their great Yan Kingdom, then the future of the great Yan Kingdom can be expected. But now, Qin Feng has gone to the opposite side of their Yan country. Such a heaven-defying figure is really amazing. If he cannot be used by himself, he can only be an enemy. Qin Feng was suspended in mid-air, and behind him in the Sea of God King visions, the rising moon appeared on the sea, flowing with dazzling brilliance. On the other side, Emperor Yan was surrounded by the Dragon Qi of the Imperial Way. With the blessing of the Dragon Qi of the Imperial Way, his momentum soared into the sky, and the terrifying coercion radiated to the surrounding areas, causing all the eunuchs and maids present to kneel to the ground, not daring to move at all. Boom! Emperor Yan squeezed the seal with his hand, and between his palms, the powerful Dragon Qi of the Emperor's Way bloomed. The Dragon Qi of the Emperor's Way surged and turned into a large seal, flowing out of a terrifying aura. That large seal sent out ripples in the void, making the entire sky become golden. The buildings in the palace were all inlaid with a layer of gold, exuding overwhelming power, as if a dragon king had descended into the world. As Emperor Yan thought, the big seal condensed by his magic power instantly collapsed the void, like a mountain, suppressing Qin Feng. Such a terrifying scene shocked everyone present. This large seal formed by the imperial dragon energy was extremely terrifying, making many princes and monks look horrified. Such a powerful seal was transformed from the spirit of the Yan kingdom, and it was truly extremely powerful. Even the queen, who looked similar to Zhang Yankai not far away, had a look of horror on her face. This was the first time she saw Emperor Yan using such a powerful move. This imperial dragon seal, with a golden dragon coiled around it, flows with divine and brilliant light, like the sun rising across the sky, illuminating the sky. Qin Feng, facing the destiny of our country, you have no power to resist. Emperor Yan's voice was cold. The seal he condensed with the dragon chi of the Emperor's Dao was an earth immortal level martial skill. It could attract a force of luck and stir up everything in the world, which was extremely terrifying. Qin Feng had sharp eyes. He stared at the palm print made by Emperor Yan and saw the murderous intention contained in it. This great seal was suppressed like an ancient sacred mountain. If an ordinary Dachshund king encountered it, he would be no match for it. But it's a pity that Qin Feng cannot be judged by ordinary theory, not to mention that he has the blessing of the system. The 9 forbidden rules can increase his combat power almost 100 times, enough to make him invincible. On the palace, a large golden seal shot out, intertwined with a golden dragon, as if it even compared with the sun in the sky. In the eyes of countless people with amazement, the big seal grew bigger and bigger, and came towards Qin Feng to suppress it. It was about 100 feet high, and its power shocked the past and the present. Qin Feng's eyes turned cold, and the moment the big seal came to suppress him, he punched out suddenly. The heavenly immortal martial arts can conceal interweaves the light of the lunar and the sun with the blessing of the 9 forbiddens. It has nearly 100 times the energy blessing. It is extremely bright and is no weaker than the opponent's golden seal. Boom! There was a violent roar between heaven and earth. Qin Feng punched out fiercely, the moon and the sun bloomed, and bombarded the golden seal on the spot. In an instant, the golden seal was surrounded by a giant dragon phenomenon, which was blasted into the void by Qin Feng. Moreover, the two chi of yin and yang collided, and the terrible rotation force acted on the golden seal, directly destroying the golden seal. Suppressed and turned into nothingness. I'll go. Hiss. Everyone present gasped. Qin Feng's punch was so powerful and domineering. The terrifying threat contained in it made everyone present feel moved, as if facing a god of war coming down to earth. Seeing that the golden seal he had condensed with the imperial dragon energy was easily destroyed by Qin Feng, Emperor Yan's face became very ugly. The golden seal intertwined with the imperial dragon energy was destroyed so easily by Qin Feng. One can imagine the horror in his mind. After all, he just wanted to kill Qin Feng with one blow, so this golden seal gathered more than 80% of his skills. It was considered his extremely powerful killing move. Unexpectedly, it could not have the slightest impact on Qin Feng. Many of the princes present showed fear. They did not expect that even Emperor Yan could not defeat Qin Feng. I am afraid that if he wants to defeat Qin Feng, his ancestor, the Supreme Emperor, can only take action. However, when people turned their attention to the battle between the Supreme Emperor and Ryoma in mid-air, their hearts were extremely uneasy. Qin Feng's mount was actually able to fight inextricably with the Supreme Emperor Yan Qi. This made people surprised by the strength of the Suzaku Holy Land Dragon Horse, and even more shocked by Qin Feng's extraordinary power. At Qin Feng's age, it is really enviable and jealous to have such a terrifying guardian beast. It seems that we can only use our trump card. Emperor Yan's eyes revealed a ruthless look. Now, his father was blocked by Qin Feng's dragon and horse. If he wanted to kill Qin Feng, he could only attack with all his strength. As Emperor Yan's thoughts fell, the storage ring in Tian's palm suddenly bloomed with brilliance. Immediately afterwards, a space appeared in front of his body. The space was like a small world, with a figure wearing a dragon robe coiled in it. That figure was exactly the same as Emperor Yan. As that figure appeared between heaven and earth, for a moment, this refreshed everyone's understanding, and the strong men present all turned pale with horror. Qin Feng was suspended in mid-air, his eyes focused, and he instantly sensed the crisis. The figure of Emperor Yan that appeared in front of him made him suspect that the other party might also have learned the secret technique of the Killer Dynasty. The Killer Dynasty has a secret technique that can condense the clones. Whether it is Zhang Yan or Grandma Rong, Qin Feng has killed their clones. At this moment, if the two Yan emperors attack together, it will indeed be very difficult. After all, if two Daqin kings besiege him, their strength will be doubled. The two Yan emperors have the same mind, and they take action together, which is different from the situation of fighting two kings alone. This is the strength of 1 plus 1, which is greater than 2. Haha, you also said that it has nothing to do with the assassin dynasty. You, the majestic emperor of a country, actually learned the secret technique of clones of the assassin dynasty. I will not let you stay today no matter what. The corners of Qin Feng's mouth curved in a cold arc, and everything showed that the relationship between the Killer Dynasty and Emperor Yan was not that simple. If Emperor Yan is really the spokesperson of the Killer Dynasty, then the strength of the Killer Dynasty may be unimaginable. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 730. Even if you want to kill me, you are overestimating your own abilities. Emperor Yan sneered, and they retreated into the crowd in an instant. At the same time, Emperor Yan's voice sounded again, you go and block him for me first. It will take some time for my soul to fuse. During this period, even if I die, I must block him. It will take some time for the two bodies of Emperor Yan to become one. During this time of unity, they must not be disturbed. Upon hearing this, countless princes, generals and guards in the field knew that they could only bite the bullet at this time. They rose into the air and surrounded Qin Feng. There are thousands of guards and generals here, and their strength is also very extraordinary. Countless masters, holding immortal energy magic weapons, attack Qin Feng brazenly. Qin Feng stood in mid-air, not moving the God King's body. His fiery eyes stared at the monks surrounding him, with murderous intent blooming in his eyes. Everyone who stops me will only die. Qin Feng looked at the gathered Aoqi masters, with murderous intent flashing in his eyes. Originally, he didn't want to go on a killing spree, but if someone was looking for death, he wouldn't stop them. The matter was so big and Qin Feng had not seen Yan Yun yet, so Qin Feng thought that something was wrong with Yan Yun. The countless guards and masters around him heard this, and after a slight hesitation, their auras intertwined with each other to form a killing formation. Although they knew that they were not Qin Feng's opponents, they could block Qin Feng for some time for the sake of Emperor Yan. Countless murderous weapons and magic weapons came from the air and overwhelmed Qin Feng. The light of the swords and swords radiated and hit Qin Feng's immovable God King's light shield, spreading out an astonishing metallic vibrating sound. Countless weapons and magic weapons turned into scraps of metal and fell into the void under Qin Feng's tremors. At the same time, Qin Feng stepped on the immortal steps and transformed into a beam of light. He crossed the void like a shooting star and swept across the sky with the immortal sword in his hand. In an instant, several guards and masters were killed by him in the void and turned into corpses. This scene really shocked everyone present. The strong men surrounding Qin Feng were all frightened and couldn't help themselves. Some of the Aoqi masters who originally swooped towards Qin Feng also paused. However, under the leadership of some generals, they were still brave and undaunted and charged towards Qin Feng. All kinds of magic weapons, fairy knives, and all kinds of weapons roared toward Qin Feng, and their violent momentum made the sky tremble. However, Qin Feng's immortal steps were too fast. He left a trail of trembling sounds across the sky in the void. Countless Aoki masters lay dead at his feet, and their execution by him became history. This was an astonishing scene. Qin Feng was so powerful and terrifying that everyone was afraid of him. Later, fewer and fewer people attacked Qin Feng. After Qin Feng completely killed several leading generals, the rest were immediately defeated. They only dared to surround Qin Feng from a distance, but did not dare to attack him again. It was at this time that Emperor Yan looked up to the sky and let out a roar. Many strange phenomena surrounded him, and the imperial dragon energy bloomed. He completely fused the two clones, and his strength broke through to the level of a third-level king. At this time, Emperor Yan's powerful aura radiated around the world, and terrifying energy lights intertwined in the sky, shocking the surrounding Aoki masters, and they were all horrified. Some low-level eunuchs and maids knelt on the ground, their souls trembling, their bodies trembling, and they did not dare to look directly at the figure of Emperor Yan above. After his strength reached the level of a third-grade king, Emperor Yan became quite calm. When he looked at Qin Feng, his eyes flashed fiercely, and his whole body was filled with chills. Qin Feng, if your living fossil from the Suzaku Holy Land appears here, I may be cautious, but you will only die. Emperor Yan's eyes were cold, and he glanced at Qin Feng, whose power was blazing, and the imperial dragon's aura filled the air, shining to the extreme. I hope your methods are as strong as your tone. Qin Feng had a sneer on his lips. He was suspended in mid-air, surrounded by King Fudo, looking calm and calm. Don't worry, I will personally send you on your way. Emperor Yan was suspended in mid-air, calm and self-confident, his golden hair shining with brilliance. At this moment, his cultivation had reached the level of a third-level king, and he had become arrogant and powerful. In this case, let the country of Yan change its fate. Qin Feng responded with 10 words. The visions of his divine king were intertwined. Behind him, in the sea of visions, a bright moon appeared on the sea, as ethereal as a god. As Qin Feng's words fell, everyone around him was stunned. Even the eunuchs and maids around him all moved towards Qin Feng. Qin Feng's words really made them tremble. In the entire Yan Bay, only the Yan state is the most powerful. Of course, there are several great sects whose strength is comparable to that of that country, among which the Suzaku Holy Land is the most powerful. However, in recent years, the Zuk Holy Land has declined somewhat, so the Yan state took advantage of the victory and pursued it. Under the management of Emperor Yan and others, its strength was at its peak, and it had the power to suppress the Vermilion Bird Holy Land. Unexpectedly, now, a holy sun in the Suzaku Holy Land has risen so powerfully that he dares to break into the Yan Palace alone, and promises to change the Yan Kingdom. Such a strong gesture makes everyone watch, and their hearts are filled with ups and downs. The movement in the Yan Palace naturally attracted countless powerful people around, who were suspended in the air and stared at the scene happening here. It is rumored that the Suzaku Holy Land is the real number one in Yan Bay, but it has declined in recent years. Now the Holy Sun Qin Feng is born like a thunderbolt, and he is extremely powerful. Among the young generation, the other party is simply an invincible model. Now the other party has gone to the Yan Palace alone to pressure the Yan Emperor. This scene shocked people. Today, Yanhuang City was shaken. Qin Feng, such a strong figure, stepped into the palace. His power was like a latecomer, stirring up the situation in Yan Bay. At this moment, as the two bodies of the Yan Emperor merged into one, his eyes were extremely cold, and the two cold lights were like lightning that captured people's souls. The murderous intent in them was like the sea, which seemed to be able to devour people's minds. Especially under the interweaving of the imperial way, the Yan Emperor himself was like cast in gold, and his golden hair was extremely dazzling, just like the Holy Emperor was alive. Oh my God! Is that Emperor Yan? So sacred? Is Emperor Yan's terrifying power comparable to that of a living fossil? It is rumored that Emperor Yan stood out among nearly 100 brothers and is extremely talented. Many common people and cultivators were discussing the issue. The jungle law of the Yanbei region is that the strong are respected. The reason why Emperor Yan could become the emperor of the Great Yan Kingdom is because of his terrifying strength and few rivals.